Hello and welcome to Premier Study in Investing. It's great to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, welcome back to Premier Study in Investing. I'm going to be looking at Salesforce. They have a couple certifications for CRM. This is Customer Relationship Management. Basically, how to develop a menu-driven type of setup. You're kind of behind the scenes. You're an IT type person, if this is something you're looking into, and you're supporting basically a team of sales folks. So they don't want to be seeing a bunch of project information that they're not on, right? They just want to see everything like filter down into what they work on. So you're kind of going to be one of the people that are going to set that up, organize that, understand how Salesforce, the software, works. And I'm going to look at all the things that we always want to know. Number one, what's the growth expectation? Number two, how much does it pay? Number three, we're going to look at LinkedIn for a Tulsa market, smaller market, right? I want to see if for smaller markets, if it's good, then you can definitely figure that it's good for a Washington, D.C., a Los Angeles, a Houston, Texas, right? So if you can find your way to the trailhead.salesforce.com, you're going to be looking for career paths and okay, they say 9.3 million jobs. There's a 23% of them are remote positions in 2021, right in the height of the pandemic. So maybe not so true for today. Now, this is nice because they do give us some prices. We're going to see a lot of these Salesforce administrator jobs come up on LinkedIn, so just fair warning. And they say 86,000 median salary. If you're a developer, 120,000, consultant, 104,000, call it. These are all US dollars. 140 if you're an architect. If you're a designer, 122. Business analyst, 93. 106, 81, and 75. Oh, one more. Looks like the service careers, 53,000. So none of these are, 53,000 could be rough depending upon how many children you have and where you live. But some of these other things I think would be like definitely okay. Okay, now I'm hoping to prove to you what is out there in the actual job market, not the projections from Salesforce. So if I put Salesforce in LinkedIn, search Tulsa, I'm going to go past week, experience level, entry level and associate. Maybe I'll even kick it up to mid-senior. We'll have 184 results and we're doing remote, on-site, and hybrid. So we have an admin, a project manager, a business analyst, another admin, configuration specialist, project manager, developer, business analyst, program manager, consultant. So we're getting actually a nice mix of sort of everything. Consultant, implementation specialist, there's another business analyst, another consultant, developer, advisory level. Let's look at one more page because I think it's kind of interesting, and then we'll go try to pick off from that first set a couple of actual jobs and see if we can get some salaries for those. A scrum master, another admin, business analyst, admin, solutions architect, project manager. Here's a services person, that kind of lowest paying. A systems analyst, senior business systems analyst, consultant, cloud specialist. So we are seeing a nice mix. FanDuel administrator, developer. So I want to go back to this first page and I want to look at, because the filter you can see here is in the last week. So I want to see really what's going on. For example, this one was posted 1 hour ago. It had 71 applicants already. For me, I pretty much don't apply for jobs that already have over 100 applicants in. If there's 500 applicants, I'm almost, unless it's it's just like a total waste of time in my opinion. Okay, no salary. I'm going to edit it out in the video editing if I don't get a salary. Okay, to save you from the scrolling, this one didn't give a salary. It was 1 hour ago, 61 applicants. How about this business analyst? 1 day ago, over 100. And this is actually just for a 6-month contract. Here we go. Here's an admin 5 hours ago, over 100 applicants, $90,000 to $105,000. I just read the other requirements. It's not really requiring a lot of information. You're going to see that these Salesforce admin certs are actually like not that time intensive to get. So it's sort of amazing that you can get a job with very little like front end work as far as education, and the certification is fairly easy if it's anything based on what I did this morning. It's not hard. It's really not hard, and to be able to make $90,000 to $100,000 is pretty interesting. Here's another administrator. 1 hour ago, 87 applicants. Hey, I forgot to capture this during the original video. I thought I'd slip it in here. This is the Trailhead with the Trail Mix. Prepare for your Salesforce Administrator credential. And you'll see 57 hours. It is one of the longer ones, but 57 hours compared to CFA. They expect people to study 300 hours per level. It's the same with a lot of those actuarial exams that we looked at, about 200, 300 hours just for one test. This is 57 hours. And honestly, I mean, the people that are doing this are making about the same money, maybe $120,000 compared to $140,000 with the actuaries. But dude, the actuaries are going to spend they're going to spend like 1,500 hours or something. There's sometimes also grouped in with some of those admin jobs. There's an advanced administrator too, so sometimes they require both. And we can see right here, we're going to tack on an extra 47 hours, 48 hours for the advanced administrator credential. So let's just call it 60 and 50. Let's call it 110 hours. So this one's actually fairly interesting, this project manager, because they want 3 years of experience. You need to travel. I've seen a lot of these say travel 30%, 25%, something like that. And then they'd like you to have a master's degree, 5 years of Salesforce experience, and then the PMP is not an easy certification to get as far as I've heard. And then I'm not sure what Scrum or admin. These might be other, I know these are kind of like keywords as far as software development, but I'm not sure what they're talking about as far as the exact certification body or body that's issuing those. Here's a developer. 9 hours ago, 100 people applied for it. So, here's a business analyst, one of the lower level people. I think you can get this for 2 years. They usually say 2 years. For example, since a lot of the viewers on this channel tend to be more kind of like early or mid-career professionals, getting into school or becoming CPA eligible or getting some of these entry level. Let's look at, this is like an easier path, the business analyst. So the thing that's so nuts about this is that they have these different trail mixes, which is like a bunch of different like mini tasks that you need to do that take, I don't know, like 10 or 20 minutes. Like it's not hard. And all total for this business analyst one, it's 10 hours. Like 10 hours. Are you kidding me? Like that's like a weekend. I mean, you know, a lot of people are out there going to graduate school or spending 4 years in undergrad. And these guys are spending like a Saturday and a Sunday. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten it. The one that I just did was a 40-hour cert. I kind of, you get 3 retakes. So I didn't, I went in once, took it just to see what the exam was like, got the idea it was just multiple choice, pick 1 out of 3. And it was as straightforward as it could be. You only needed 62% to pass. I think I passed it without even completing, not even 50% of the the trail mix they're called. I mean, interesting stuff. It's cool to know how to use it, but it's like the exams are not hard. So I don't think that just the exam would be enough for most employers. I'm guessing. I don't know, but that's just what I'm telling you from my experience. 4 days ago, 68 applicants for the business analyst. Let's go to this consultant. We haven't looked at any consultants yet. Oh, here we go. 6 days ago, 41 applicants, 125,000 plus to 150,000. This is really interesting. It's contract work, which, I mean, in my opinion, who cares, right? You're just trying to make as much money as you can in a short amount of time doing something that you find basically interesting and that has some future behind it, where work is hard, but work doesn't have to be miserable. So $80 to $100 an hour, right? I mean, if you make $100 an hour, that's 200,000 a year. So yeah, 155 would be like $75 an hour. So anyways, this is a pretty good. Let's look at an administrator consultant. I always think these are interesting. Over 100 applicants 6 days ago. It's too bad that LinkedIn changed that. I mean, if that's like 1,000 applicants, it would be really important to know. More scrolling, sorry. Page layout, workflow rules, validation rules, approval processes, reports, dashboards. Like, I'll show you here in a second what some of that stuff is. It's just the whole thing is menu driven. There's no coding like in SQL or maybe R or SAS or statistical software, Python. So it's not too much. $40 to $50 per hour. 3 applicants 17 hours ago. Salesforce development. You need the certified technical architect or the certified application architect. Required functional analyst 90 to 120,000. Reposted 7 hours ago. They already have over 100 applicants. I'm getting the sense that these certs are fairly easy to get, but the jobs associated with them are not that easy to get. Consultant. 30 applicants 17 hours ago, up to $160,000 a year. Five to 7 years of hands-on experience with Salesforce consulting. I mean, this is certainly not an entry-level job, although interesting to make 160. Implementation specialist, 100 applicants 4 days ago. Remote, 2 to 3 years of experience with Salesforce administrator as a Salesforce administrator. So you're going to need that top cert that we're going to go look at here just in a couple more. So here's a Salesforce admin, 5 days ago, 100 applicants. They want you to know the app builder, which is another cert within the whole universe of Salesforce. SOQL, they'll teach you that. APEX, they'll teach you that in these trail mixes that Salesforce has put together for free. You have to pay for the exams. I think the most expensive exam, even for this admin level, is $200 for the first take, $100 for each retake. So I don't know what it is for CPA. If you want to take the CFA, this is for financial professionals, money managers, and whatnot. Those are $900, $1,000. I think even if you get the early bird special. So to pay $200 or $300, maybe even if you take it a couple times, maybe up to $400 to get through it. It's like no sweat. Jack Henry, 102 to 180,000 advisor level. 2 hours ago, 29 applicants, fully remote. 10 years of experience. So it's not really getting the cert, it's being able to get your foot in the door. Hopefully, probably it would have been better to get in early when this was like a growing, newer thing. I could see how this is going to be here to stay, but let's go over and look at, this is just sort of one of the screens as I was going through one of my trainings. And you can see it's just, object managers. This is all app or menu, like really menu driven. You're looking for like sales, content, sales console. You're going to search for what you want. We use this a lot, this object manager, because on kind of the back end, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to throw the wrong words out, but it's like you're kind of in a development role, or you're kind of like getting things set up for the employees. Say like you sell home gym equipment, right? Well, maybe there's even a better example of something where you have like leads, you're working with customers, maybe like, you're following up with them. They said they were interested in that, so you sent them a quote. Maybe more engineering would maybe make more sense. So you sent them a quote and worked up a pitch for them, and maybe even flew like one of your engineers out to the site to show them, the specifications and how it would work and some of the product features. And then you need your sales team to like follow up, for weeks or months until you finally close the deal, right? So you're going to have like these different accounts, different account layouts. You can add different things like special buttons or like what information is allowed. You're going to have fields, buttons, quick actions, mobile lightning actions, like where you can add basically all sorts of features, or like I said before, limit down the information. Say I have like a team that's a regional sales team for, say, like the Southwest of America, right? They don't want to know any of the leads or the stuff that's going on, the companies in Florida. That's not their region. They don't care about that, and they don't want like extra long list or irrelevant information. So we're going to be doing that. We can give them, certain access if they're a manager. Maybe they get more information than like the salespeople. Well, like I said before, maybe you, within the Southwest region, you have it broken down by state, or teams that specialize on, say, like civil engineering, and then maybe you have like a mechanical engineering. You could imagine like how you start to have multiple teams within this organization. You're trying to sell stuff. You have multiple like contacts at these various companies that you're trying to sell to. You're also going to want to have certain, say, like follow-up for reselling, maintenance dates, all kinds of stuff. As products wear out, what the warranties are on that, or whatever was specified in the contracts as far as, you're going to come back out and do routine maintenance or whatever. I'm just kind of like going off the top of my head with this engineering idea. But you would build all that. And they would have like we'll go over here to sales. So they would have more like a sales user interface where it's like, this is how much we've closed. We have, this amount open. We're trying to hit these sales goals. Maybe this is a manager screen, for example. You have these different things that we're supposed to do. Hey, we're supposed to follow up with this person. We owe this one person a phone call. This guy was on vacation. He's coming back tomorrow, like follow up on this, that, and the other thing. The events, the day's tasks. These are some of the different people, some of the different clients that we have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Like, these people, they want to basically see what's relevant to them in a way that's nice, that's compact, that maybe they say, hey, we actually really need to prioritize these things to the top of the assistant list, or, like if I don't know, we don't know how to delete these things once we've, like, we don't know what this X is, or who knows what other like kind of crazy questions you would get. But I think that's what you're essentially doing. The business analyst and the associate person would kind of sit under an admin, and the admin would be really good at how to pull these things together. But that's what you're basically doing. You're building these type of like consoles out. So here's another little like look at one of the mini lessons on this trail mix. It's called the Lightning App Builder. So okay, they have it like customizable on mobile as well as desktop. And so if you go through one of these training packages, there's going to be like a little, like, okay, what's a Lightning Experience records page? Like, I don't know, like, what the heck is a records page? Like, what does that mean? They explain it to you so you get like the basic concept, and then you go right into a practice scenario. They're going to give you step-by-step instructions like, click here, look here, click new, enter this, information, call it new opportunity page. And it's a lot of menu stuff. It's a lot of, being able to go over here, build it kind of like on the back end, and then either keep it in like a test setup format, make sure that it showed up as you expected it to, make sure that it works. And then in most of these lessons, like, you follow, what is this, step 20, then you need to go and like let your users know, or so you kind of make it live, and you got to decide like who can see it and how it works and some of the other options. And then you get to the bottom of these, and there's usually like a hands-on challenge. So they basically tell you to do on your own. You come down, you launch this like new window, and it'll basically take you into the software. And that's what I really liked, because I did some SAP, I did some Oracle learning for something similar like this, because I've been in between jobs for a little bit, coming out of commercial real estate, and it's like, okay, the thing with commercial real estate is very interesting and very obvious to me that yes, they need people to understand finance and how that works, but a lot of this stuff is continually more and more driven on who can roll out software, right? So a lot of companies are trying to do like software as a service or whatever, and it seemed to me very clear that like the manual or the sort of just ability to know like ratios, read balance sheets, interpret economics, a lot of the training that I've had, cost accounting, like the stuff that you would really want to look at if you were going to invest, say, private equity, or if you were going to invest in a publicly traded company, their shares, trying to value those shares and predict the future, whether they're in a growing economy, whether they sell to customers that are in growing economies. Like, all this stuff was fairly irrelevant to what we were doing. So I was just kind of always like, well, okay, this is like super basic, boring, but and I just, because I didn't have the like software skills, it was very obvious like that's kind of like what they wanted. So that's kind of why I got into it. I was thinking, well, maybe this would be a great thing to test the waters, see if I like it, et cetera, et cetera. But you're going to launch a new window, and you're going to go through, follow the instructions, and it's going to say check my work, basically. If you did it right, you'll get these points. You move on to the next one, and it just kind of builds up. You have like these points on your badge or your, whatever, like your list of accomplishments. Like, so I think that about wraps it up for me. It's very attractive from their website. It's a very visually nice experience. You can tell they put time into it with, these little fun little plants or ferns or whatever's going on with the clouds and the grass in the background, the mountains for this guy. So the other really great thing about it is that you're able to actually use the software as compared to watching videos of other people click around on their computer. Like, it's a night and day difference. It absolutely night and day. I mean, to be able to actually use the software, build the things, check your work is very engaging. I did some other certs from Oracle and SAP, and it's just like, well, I mean, this is really boring. There's a ton of text, and I'm not really doing it. I'm just listening to some talking heads, and it's not like the presentations were necessarily bad, but the end result, as far as you're feeling like, oh, I know how this works, I've used it before, like you have an actual experience with Salesforce and the Trailhead system that they're using. So I liked it, and we'll see. Put it on the CV, put it out to some recruiters, see if we get any bites, nibbles, or whatever. Apparently, a lot of layoffs. Hard for me to know how much this would be affected by AI, but as you saw on their homepage, they are definitely rolling out certifications for AI as well. So I think it started as more of this like customer relationship software, and they've definitely gotten into a lot of other stuff. I'm not a pro, but let's look. 360, AI, sales, service, marketing, commerce, data cloud, Tableau is one of their products that you always hear about, which is more like a visualization tool as far as I understand. MuleSoft is like it parses data. It can basically like take raw data, sort of clean it, bring it into a usable format that you can then integrate into your Salesforce. Slack, communication, team communication, small business. Yeah, I'm not sure what this bottom one is. Build scalable apps on cloud native platform made for developers. Slack, unlock productivity powered by data plus AI plus CRM plus trust. So there's a lot of stuff that they're doing, something called Einstein and all kinds of stuff. But you see it on a lot of jobs, especially if you see posts from JobBot. They're always looking for these skills. They always seem to have a high salary attached to them. And it seems like it's generally a low bar compared to the amount of money that you're going to spend, certainly compared to graduate school or some of these other longer, maybe like Coursera courses. And then the number of hours also seems quite low. I mean, with a 60% pass rate, I think the exam I took this morning had a 62% pass rate. It's like, if you're kind of good at test taking and they're going to give you 3 shots to pass it for paying $75 once, like you can exam hack that really easy, especially because it's not even out of 4 choices. It's out of 3 choices, and there's no like none of the above or all of the above, which adds a little bit additional trickiness to it. Like, it's, at least at this beginning level, fairly easy. So that's my take. I'm not sure if it's a good deal or not. Maybe it'd be great if people that have done it and found out how it went for them, maybe they've been in it and come out. I'm sure there's a lot of Salesforce videos out there on YouTube already. But hey, if you know something about it and you can share it with our community and let us know, because people are trying to figure out how to basically make a decent income in this world. And so thanks so much for joining me, Premier State Investing.